Okay, we're into session 3. So session 3 is, it's like session, fish stock and veg stock. So pretty easy one, this one. The challenge for you guys with this is, one of the things I'll be asking from you is, what have you made from that veg stock and that fish stock? So I just don't want to see a photo where you've made them, that's going to be awesome. But why don't you upload something or a photo or come up with an idea or a dish and say, Chef, I've made this lovely fish soup, or I've made a beautiful vegetable risotto using that stock from our ingredients. So we have a look down here. We've got chopped up fish, just the bones. We've got our white mirepoix, some wine, a little bit of butter. And over here, lots of aromats, some dried mushrooms that have been soaked in hot water, another mirepoix here. So you can see there's a little bit more to this one in terms of flavour. With the fish stock, we're getting a lot of flavour from the wine and the fish bones. This one, it's a holistic kind of stock where we're not really going to get a lot of flavour from that, but by the time we add our herbs, tomato, mushrooms, and all the aromats, we're going to get a lot of flavour into that. So I'm going to start off with washing of the fish bones first. So same as we do with the chicken, give them a quick wash, just making sure that there's nothing wrong with them. You might have had them sitting in our fridge at home. We don't want them smelling. Lovely fresh bones there, not stinky. We're going to put a little bit of butter in here. Not too hot, like that is. No, that's actually perfect. In goes our veg. Just going to saute, sweat that off a little bit. So again, for me, we're all about here. We're going to look at our veg stock as well. Butter goes in, we're sweating off our mirepoix. Goes the mirepoix. So make yourself an asset to a business. How are we going to do that? By being productive. If you're productive in a business, if I go for a job, or I'm the boss and Cormac comes in, if he can show me that he can produce 4, 5 or 6 items at the same time, he becomes very valuable to me. If you're in there and you don't know how to set up, you don't care about what you're producing, you're not moving quickly, you need to move with intent when you're in the kitchen. There is a fine line between moving with intent and understanding what you have to do, just being silly and running and sliding around the kitchen. That shows me if someone's doing a trial that they're actually panicking and they're not able to deal with it all. If you move with intent and you're very clear,
but Chef, would you say
that's very well.
That's when your workflow plan will kick in? That's why you study over what you're going to have to make.
Definitely.
You understand the time frames and you make a plan. You write it down.
Even Cormac goes for a trial, there's no point just rocking up green and not even knowing what the venue is about, not having done some research on the food, not understanding any part of it. You need to go in there and understand how big's the team. Go there and eat, go and experience something. Look at the service style, see what's happening there. Then it gives you an idea. You can know if it's a high volume, you're going to be walking into a kitchen that you're going to be faced with a bit of pressure. Actually, the pressure, guys, is the good part. It's the part we love. All right, here we have veg, both ready to go. Just going to add my wine in here to our fish. Be careful when you add alcohol in. Over that flame, you have a really high concentrated alcohol aspect in that. Can potentially flambe up. Okay, in goes my bones. All I do now is I'm just going to let that go for a second. Then I'm going to have my water. My veg now, I'm going to get the rest of it in. I'm going to get the mushrooms in. Tomatoes in. Just cook that out a little bit. Get a little bit of seasoning in that as well, I reckon.
So Chef, how long do you cook the fish stock for?
Only for about 20 to 30 minutes is the standard industry rate. But I've worked in kitchens where you would cook a fish stock for an hour. In that time, you'd obviously be skimming it and that management the whole time. Generally, you only really need to cook it for 20 to 30 minutes, but up to an hour in some kitchens. Again, talk to your chefs about what do you think, what do they want. Don't just put it on and expect someone to tell you. you need to ask a question. Got a little bit of aromats I'm just going to put in there. The rest of it will go in my veg stock. Again, cold water going into our stocks. So when we're passing these off and we cook them out, so what's going to happen is I'm going to leave these on here. I'm going to be skimming them. I'm going to be taking care of them. I'm not just going to set and forget. I'm going to be nurturing them so we know that we're going to get a good stock out of it. Then later on, I'm going to show you how to pass off the fish stock. The fish stock's a little bit trickier. We don't just want to pour it willy-nilly into a big bucket or a pan or something, because that lovely protein in there will just smash and make your nice clear stock very cloudy. So I'll show you how to do that one. The veg stock, you know how to strain the stock now. Pretty comfortable with that. So that will just cook out nicely, and we might use that tonight format when we get home for something to cook dinner.
Sounds good. So, can you actually overcook the veg stock?
Yeah, you can just boil it, and what would happen is everything would break down, and rather than have a nice clear stock again, it would become cloudy. That butter would come to the top again if you weren't taking care of it and skimming it. You'd end up with that fatty aspect from the butter, and all that veg would break down. But also you'd lose your yield. So the thing to remember when we're in a kitchen is we've got to make money. So even though we think, oh, it's only a little bit of bone or a little bit of leek or whatever, I was saying to the guys before, when I worked in the kitchen, we'd never use leeks in stocks because they'd be $2 or $3. You'd be sitting down at the end of the week, OMG, why have I got $140 worth of leek? It's not on the menu anywhere. So it's $140 times 4 is the actual cost really on what that's going to cost us. So we need to be careful, we need to be smart with our stocks, making sure that we don't lose our yield out of it. And as the training progresses for you guys, you talk more and your lecturers will talk more to you about costings, yields, how to make money. But on the ground, on that day, if I'm making a mistake in a real kitchen where they are counting on that money, it's going to be a problem for them. So rather than having a fish stock with 100 portions, you're only going to present them with a fish stock with 50 portions. So they've just lost 50 portions. So that's money in the bank for them when it extends out to what that needs to come through the cash register. So these will be going along. I'll skin them, take care of them, and then we'll revisit the fish stock as soon as it's ready. Okay, so fish stock is pretty much ready to go. I'll just do another skim. I left that here. I'll just pull that forward, Cormac, and have a look at this. So I'll probably turn that off now. So I've left that to build a little bit. So you can see now I'll skim it. And I'm again trying not to, just wanted to show you this method. So what we do sometimes is we just push from the middle, pushing out, and all that rubbish goes to the side of the pot, and then we can just come around and just scoop that up. So do it around here. So in that process, it kind of splits a bit or spreads out, then we just do it again. Okay, got that lovely stock in the middle. So this would be just lovely noodle soup, like a seafood or fish noodle soup for me. Out of this would be lovely. Just go and buy some noodles from the Asian shop, some frozen fish balls or some dumplings. We're going to pass it off, and then you can just add the rest of your goodies into that soup. So remembering, guys, I want to see something that you've produced from this, and it's not just getting magic noodles and chucking it in a pot with some boiling water. I want to see something amazing. Okay, so now our stock. So we just need to be careful with this again. If you need to get someone at home to help you, get them to help you out. You'll be able to teach them something. You're going to make yourself look good. So this here, I'm just going to pass it through our muslin like we did last time without beef stock. So that will just go through there. What I'm trying to do is be gentle with this. I'm not smashing this through, otherwise our lovely fish stock will become cloudy.
So if we overboil that with the fish bones, Brad, especially with the head in there, it can get very bitter.
Yeah, bitter, cloudy.
Ammonia can taste out of it.
So pretty much all this work that you've done goes to waste if you just rush it. So when we're doing stocks, we don't rush it. That's why things, when you look at it, you're like, OMG, why does it take 4 to 6 hours to cook? Well, because we're not rushing it. We just need to let Sometimes, guys, you just got to let stuff cook. There's no point poking it and prodding it. Just let it cook. Let it do its thing.
And again, that's what. Sorry for putting it. And that, again, that's where it comes down to your workflow.
Yeah.
It's so important that you allow time and you understand while that's on, what else you can be doing.
Yes.
So a workflow plan again comes into play.
I want to borrow your arm, Chef, if I can. Just hold that for me. Just lift that up, yeah. Then I'm just going to get this final bit out. So when we get to this base part here, pretty full, we're just being careful we don't disturb that bone in there. We're just going to work around it, and then we're going to get rid of all of that when we're done. We're almost done. One more, we'll make it done. Right. So there's that fish stock complete. Look, a nice fish stock here. So again, if this was really, really oily or fatty from that butter in there, if we hadn't been skimming it properly, we would have to perhaps use that technique where we used the paper towel earlier. I'm just going to label that in here, then have a look at our two stocks. So here we've got our veg stock. Here, so it's nice and clear. It's got a little bit of colour in it. There's that leaching of that thyme and those herbs came out a little bit. We've got a lovely clear fish stock. Smells really nice. Okay, so that's completed session 3, fish stock and veg stock.